Ah, all right. I woke up a little late. I'm going back to normal sleep schedule. I can feel it in my body. I am getting there. But as I finished up last night, a lot of people were telling me, "Hey, Teddy, you got to go check out Jake Gagan, Classy Crypto," and I guess they had Russ on. So I did find that live stream. So I think it's worthwhile to at least review a little bit of it in the morning before I have to jump off or anything. So I guess it was pretty long. I don't think I'm going to be able to cover it all, but I think we'll get the gist of it. We'll see how the bros hang out and how the Ganja Goons hang out as well. Yo, Lunchback, what's up? TMS Flicks, nice to see you. Michelle, good morning. Good morning, Michelle. What are you doing? What are you doing? Your new name throws me off, Michelle. I like seeing the AKA Huddle Ann, and now I just do not see that anymore. Okay, so this is. I'm trying to get to the point where like he comes right on. All right, somewhere here. 19 minutes, dude. I think they went for a long time, right? Dude, 19 minutes. The guy was there till 1:09. Yeah, there's no way I'm reviewing this. My first morning meeting is at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. I mean, I would not have to talk. That's the only way we're getting through this. What's up? It's 11 p.m. in Australia. Have you heard of Satanobi? Yes, I've heard of it.
He addresses the community. And I think every single person can applaud that. On good days, he's there. On bad days, he's there. On mediocre days, he's there. And I think that's something that should be applauded in class. You know how it is. Like when shit's going bad, it's easy to kind of run away. So I will applaud that. But without further ado, 547 people in the stream. We have 147 likes.
Hey,
if you
gentlemen.
want to see Russell, in Russ We Trust, the CEO
In
of
Russ We Trust.
we got to get into 200 likes. So smash that like button, and we're going to be bringing on Russell. So without further ado, let's bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Russell Armand, the CEO of Saitama. Russ, how are we doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on, man? So I got my phone on the camera and the earpiece because I'm doing some stuff on that computer. But I'm a big fan, Jake. I feel like we haven't talked in a long time, man. So I'm like, you know what? I need to come on here and say what's up. So I'm not trying to steal anybody's thunder, classy crypto. I know you're.
Oh no,
here.
you
I don't
already
wanna
stole
take
that
your
one.
spot, man.
No,
Sorry.
you are good, man. You know you're welcome on here anytime. But
You already stole that one, Classy Crypto. Yep. Yeah, he's a big shot. So we have to give him the floor.
we were just recapping the AMA that you did earlier today. We were tuned in. The Wolfpack was tuned in to the AMA. It was solid. I think you gave us exactly what we needed to hear in terms of the SATA Mask update, in terms of the SATA Realty, when it's going to go live. But let me ask you, I mean, what were your thoughts on the AMA after you guys did it?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I'm always optimistic about AMAs because I feel like we're never delivering as much as we hope to, right? There's always some people that are like very skeptical about our AMAs and like, well, it never leads up to the hype, and it not by any fault of ours. It's just people have a tendency to hype everything up like we're gonna come on our AMA and be like, oh, we're gonna be listed on Binance tomorrow, or you know what I mean? Like, there's always that unrealistic expectation, but what we try to do is just give people the information.
There's always that unrealistic expectation. I feel like that's misconstructed. I feel like that's a false statement. I feel like we're over promising and under delivering. I think that's the real issue there, right?
As we haven't been what we can deliver and what we can say, right? What we can put out there. So, so we, did what we wanted to do and we came out and put out what we needed to put out and tried to be as vague as possible without being overly descriptive. But also trying to relay that confidence back into the people because I feel like over the last couple of months, let's be honest, there hasn't been a lot of confidence within the community. People are kind of just, they're there because they believe in the project and what we're trying to do, and they're excited about what the possibilities can come from it. But we ran into more obstacles than we'd like. So now it's just a matter of trying to reinstill that confidence, right? Trying to build people back up like, hey, we're not going anywhere. We're here. We're working just as hard as we were on day one. Some things that we could have wished gone differently didn't, but hey, it is what it is. But we're finally at that point now where we can move past it. Where we're like, okay.
I mean, I like to hear that, right? Like, hey, they went through some stuff, and now they're at the point where. But I feel like they've been telling me they've been at the point where they can move on for quite many AMAs, but I don't know. Teddy, what do you want to see from Saitama? What I want to see is Saitama going up, really branching out to the other things in the roadmap like SATA desktop, the SATA maker, the NFT maker platform, and even the SATA swap eventually, right? But the SATA staking and that hardware wallet, right? So I think those are pretty cool things that they like. When I first went into the Saitama and I invested, that's the roadmap I looked at that made me want to invest. And now I'm just waiting, I guess. So that's the point that I'm at. That's always been the problem. This guy talks too much and then nothing. I also have the same problem, Crypto Snack. I also have the same problem. I talked too much. By the way, like the stream. Let's help out the early gang of Ganja Dunes. Find us.
We're finally here. We got accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. You know, we shut it down for a reason. We were able to fix what we shut it down for, and now we're ready to move forward. So we're gonna let Max and these guys test out the swap and add the liquidity like you guys are talking about. We only put in like, I don't know, not even $10,000 for the liquidity and the front run.
Yeah, see, like this liquidity part, like I'm just being honest, like it throws me off because like I feel like in other AMAs, and I've said this before, he said, "Hey, we're all set with liquidity," but now he comes out and he's like, "Oh, we only put in $10,000 into the liquidity, and now we need to inject more." And that reminds me of like when Terra went live, right? They had a injection of liquidity problem or something. Is that something? And the other interesting part that he just said was we had to shut it down for a reason. We fixed the issues that we shut it down for. So I know Max in the AMA talked about the infrastructure changes and the architecture changes. If you guys watched that video where I had Slim Jesus come on even at the end, you'll understand like, hey, maybe they did do this for a reason. So if they did address the issues they shut it down for, it doesn't completely mean I'm really hoping that QA is amazing, that quality assurance testing is done perfectly, and there really is no issues. But it seems like I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Bots were just having their day with it, and they were just draining the crap out of it,
bad.
which we kind of anticipated, right? And that's why you do that. That's why you don't inject $1 million into liquidity into a decentralized exchange that you just flip the switch on, because that's how you lose $1 million. So we did a little bit at a time, and then we and tested it out and anticipated some activity. We kind of did some analytical stuff and figured out what that percentage was, and then we kind of calibrated it back a little bit and made the conscious decision to shut it down, and we fixed it, and we created our own mempool and our own miner pathway, if you will.
Their own mempool. This is something I keep hearing. I have no research. I'm just going to quickly Google what a mempool is when it comes to Bitcoin, I guess. Mempool. The mempool is where all the valid transactions wait to be confirmed by the Bitcoin network. A high mempool size indicates more network traffic. Okay. Interesting. Mempool definition. I'm sorry, I literally don't know. I'm not a blockchain developer, so I'm trying to learn it, right? So a mempool. Oh, it's literally a memory pool. Mempool. Next he's gonna say, regardless, is a smaller database of unconfirmed or pending transactions which every node keeps. So when he says they made their own mempool, they have a database or a node that runs a database. And all the unconfirmed and pending transactions go into this database, I guess, or in this node. When a transaction is confirmed by being included in a block, it is removed from the mempool. Okay, so once that transaction is confirmed, whatever mempool thing they did, that block gets removed from that database. All Bitcoin transactions must pay a fee to be included in the blockchain. That's interesting, right? So now I know a little bit of what a mempool is.
So we don't have to have that transaction be leached on through different miners, which is about as safe as you can get. And that's how you mitigate that problem outside of essentially creating your own blockchain, which we're not looking to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we did what we said we were going to do, and now we're ready to move forward. So it's just been a lot of work, man. It's been crazy hours and all this. And people understand too that like as Max was working on this stuff with our whole team of engineers, not just Max in his office, but our whole team of engineers were doing this and mitigating that. like the rest of our team has been just doing everything else that we said we were going to do too, like on the back end.
Yep.
Which we haven't even talked about, right? We haven't even
know.
really gone into.
And Russ, we have a lot to talk about. I want to ask you because look, as you know, I've been covering your guys' token since the beginning, right? Like 5,000 holders, dude. To have done what you guys have done in 9 months, like to build out this SATA mask and the platform and have 300,000 people, you guys are still a startup. Like you've been in business for a while. It's like think about a year, like to have 300,000 holders and to get on probably what 8 to 10 exchanges that you're already on. And then to be building something you guys are doing, building the NFT marketplace, building the game, building in the background. I'm sure it's probably felt like multiple years, but what are your thoughts on that, man? It's been 9 to 10 months. Obviously, the growth has been insane. Has the growth of Saitama exceeded your guys' expectations from when you took over this contract?
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to an extent.
Yo, Al, I am sorry you were waiting till 6. I actually woke up, but I had to talk with my offshore team, finalize some things for some other projects, so I had to wake up a little bit later. But I got on for 7. I'm here till at least 8:15, 8:20, an hour or more. A swap still not working. Any idea? I do not know. I'm assuming that we have to give them, Max said in the AMA, 2 to 3 days. So I'm going to wait those 2 to 3 days and see what happens. And then right here, like I'm just like in my mind, even though I'm watching this, I'm still trying to understand the mempool. So like now it's starting to make sense. Like they had to stop the swap so they could make a new node that does block confirmations for their unconfirmed transactions. So that goes into this node, and then they have their own miners, I guess. So those will confirm those transactions for the SATA swap. In SATA mask, right? So that's kind of where my mind is going. It is making sense, I guess, if you have your own confirmations being done and you're not relying on other nodes or other people. I mean, I guess that's what you have to do. That's the infrastructure change, and I guess that's the way they handled those front-running bots, because now they're not having other people confirm transactions, and they've somehow built their own mempool, memcache. And Al, by the way, thank you for the $20 donation. Appreciate you. And welcome to the Ganja Goons. I am trying to buy Saitama with ETH, but the swap is just running and running until close. I don't think the swap is working yet, Hoover. Do not lose hope yet. It is not. I believe it's not turned on yet. Even Saitama to ETH, they need to turn on the full swap function for that to work. And by the way, guys, like the stream. You're part of the early morning Ganja Goon squad. So I know some of you are already waking and baking while the others are just waking up, getting ready, getting their kids out to school. And I've gotten all kinds of comments. They're like, Teddy, we love the morning stream. I'm usually doing this. I'm usually doing that. I'm glad you guys are following along. Very happy to hear that. I will say this: if SATA Mask doesn't work properly 3 days later, sell all your Saitama holdings. I can't sell. I'm not even profitable at this point. I've already pulled my initial investment out, but the profits I let ride, those have diminished. And I feel like I need to recuperate some of those because I did buy high. I bought at the 8s.
I mean, we kind of knew going into it what we were kind of creating and what it could potentially be. Having it be this fast, I don't know if anyone could have really anticipated the amount of growth that we've got in a short amount of time. But it just goes to show that, like, if you're passionate about what you do and you convince enough people around it to be passionate as well, it's very contagious. Right? It's very people want to gravitate towards that when it's something that's very revolutionary. And I know people say, "Oh, it's not revolutionary; it's just a DEX." Right? Well, it's not just a DEX. Yeah. It's a lot of things. And it's not even really about just the wallet. It's about all the other things that we're trying to incorporate into that as well, and generate an entire ecosystem and have it be very crypto friendly to people that are new investors or savvy investors that have been around since early Bitcoin days, or from your neighbor that doesn't know anything about crypto. It's geared towards all different demographics.
And I just have to pause there because, like, I keep hearing this. Hey, this mask, this app is for everybody, new investors, old investors, geared towards everybody. I mean, like, Coinbase is like that. Crypto.com is like that. The Binance exchange is like that, right? They're really trying to get, I think the hardest one that people have trouble with is KuCoin. They don't like that, like the 2 tab. They don't like the UI, but unfortunately, that's just That's just the truth of it. I don't think SataMask is going to be the only pathway to get new investors in. I think we have to really see how, how these degen coins to get listed, if they're going to get even actual coins. Like, let's assume they get XRP on there. I know they have a filing right now, but regardless, like, I'm talking stable coins get on there, something like that. It maybe, guys, maybe. But then they're not an exchange, they're just a swap. So how are you going to explain to a new investor? Like, imagine I'm a new investor, I come in. How do I explain to somebody that, hey, this is just a swap and it's not an exchange? Come understand this. I feel like you need to have some really good marketing material to get them on board. Russ is giving lots of empty promises, excuses to all the delays. It sounds like they have everything figured out. They got that mempool. So I don't know. I don't know if the mempool was an issue. I'm not sure, I guess, because like I think Ethereum, and I know it runs on multiple nodes. But then again, I know SataMask doesn't have other nodes, or I don't even think how they would do confirmation. So, hey, I know this is off topic. Also have a bag of Shinja. Wasn't it supposed to get listed on Tier 1 exchange? Yes, Tier 1 exchange in March. I think there were some dates, 2028 something, March something. And I believe it's Tier 1 exchange. And you guys know why I feel it's going to be KuCoin over Kraken, because I saw those news articles where they're making updates to the tick size, and they're making updates to the AWS infrastructure on KuCoin. So definitely very interested to see which exchange that Tier 1 is. And we're going to find out even from the AMA. Honda Game Tier 1 exchange is delayed due to having some issues on their end. Oh, okay, Xavier, I did not know that. I thought it was Teddy, you're on our crypto morning show. What is your crypto morning show, Crypto Snack? What the heck? I'm glad to be on there. Thank you. Like the stream, by the way. Low temp, happy. If I waited longer, I would have lost 80%. Yeah, I saw one of you guys took like $1,000 profit. Do you see Bitcoin hitting 32K? I personally don't see it, but the analysts are saying it can hit as low as 30K. Like, it is possible. Somehow someone drew the Fibonacci sequence and they're like, yep, this is another bottom, and it showed it at 30K. So that feels scary. Guys, give the guy likes. Thank you, Bobby. I need them likes. All right. Likes keep the channel going.
Regardless of what your level of expertise is. So, yeah, I mean, we're pleased with the growth, but honestly, I still think of this as a startup. So to me, 300,000 plus holders is great, but it's still just the beginning of where we're trying to go. Like, I'm not going to be happy until I see millions of holders, right? And so we're, top 5, top 10 crypto, and everywhere you turn, you see our brand. Like, I envision Saitama being, like the crypto.com of the world. Like, everywhere you go, you'll see it. Saitama sponsors this. Saitama is co-partner and co-branding with this company. Everything that we do, and that's why we're trying to create all these different pillars within SataMask itself. With the NFT marketplace and Bang and the play to earn games and now Sata Realty. It's all really just funneled towards one singular brand and one token, that's Saitama. So that's always been the narrative, is to just make everything relevant around our internal ecosystem, and the driving force behind that is our token, the Saitama token. So.
Exactly. And we're going to talk about, I want to ask you while we have you here in just a second about Sata Realty, but as you mentioned, right, the momentum has kind of slowed down for Saitama because cryptocurrency, it runs off of hype and news and what's going on. And obviously when there's delays, people either leave projects or people kind of spread FUD. We've seen a lot of FUD being spread with Saitama. Personally, I'll give you my thoughts and then I'll ask you and I'll ask Classy as well. But personally, I believe once the SataMask gets up and running, once these tokens in the DeFi space are able to get on there, it's a smooth swap feature. People are using it. The NFT marketplace comes out. The new token goes out. We're going to start seeing this momentum pick back up for Saitama. Russ, let me take that to you. Is that a focal point for you guys at Saitama? Is it just to get the SataMask up, out and running, have it secure, have people use it? And then are you expecting to see the momentum pick back up and kind of the bullish momentum that we saw from Saitama back in November and October return to the token?
No, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, a lot of things have been kind of going against us as of late.
Yo, this was a great question by Jake. I really want to know what Russ says because he hit on some good points. It's like, in my mind, if Sata Mask works, the maximum Saitama is going to pump is like 2x, maybe a 3x. I do not think we're going to get that 5x, 10x, thing everyone's looking for. But then the other catalysts that they have, like the NFT maker, the hardware wallet, those are going to be, I think, even more catalysts. But I don't know. So let's see what Saitama Guru says.
For one, we are in a little bit. I know people will argue with me on this, but we're in a bit of a bear market right now, right? I mean, with all the different things going around in the world and crypto specifically, and being the fact that we're in February, traditionally December, January, February, and maybe even extended into March is traditionally a bear season for stocks, for crypto especially. So, am I surprised to see Ethereum, Bitcoin and things like that down right now? Like, no, not at all. I anticipated it back to the end of summer. So there is other outside entities that have been kind of forcing that along and preventing crypto in general to kind of escalate as it is, especially now with newfound Ukraine issues and all that stuff going on that we'll talk about. It's just, there's a lot of criticism and skepticism in the market itself. So I think the first week or two of March, I think we'll really start to enter that bull run as we traditionally do, as it pertains to Saitama specifically. I mean, we've kind of been trading sideways and maybe on a little downhill spectrum for quite some time, right? Since November, we just kind of really, and then just kind of been trading sideways, going down. And then obviously with the Bitmart and with, the CMC issues, we've just been one thing after another. We had the DDoS attacks on the wallet. So naturally people kind of tend to lose excitement and hype, right? And
what was that? DDoS attacks and the wallet? Is that what he just said?
The first week or two of March, I think we'll really start to enter that bull run as we traditionally do, as it pertains to Saitama specifically. I mean, we've kind of been trading sideways and maybe on a little downhill spectrum for quite some time, right? Since November, we just kind of really, and then
what? We're trading sideways, but we're on a downhill spectrum. Is that what he said? Oh my God!
Just kind of been trading sideways, going down, and then obviously with
he said trading sideways again, going down. You are Saitama Guru. I believe the term is you're downtrending. You're waiting for that breakout. That breakout could be a catalyst from Satamask, and it's going to be great. But there's no such thing as trading sideways and also downtrend. At least I don't think so. I think you're just straight downtrending, and hopefully the catalyst comes in.
Bitmart and with the CMC issues, we've just been one thing after another. We had the DDoS attacks on the wallet. So naturally people kind of tend to lose excitement and hype, right? And crypto is based on hype and excitement and momentum and all those things. So nobody wants to buy red candles. They always chase green candles in crypto.
Sure.
So if you're trading sideways for a while and you're like, I'm happy with my investment, I know that it's solid, it's going to go up, then you're good. But if you're looking at your investment for a short-term gain, or you're looking at it from a perspective like you want to maximize your position on anything, then you're going to look and say, okay, well, my Saitama position's over here. I haven't really made a lot on it, but I have realized that there is some potential in other low market cap coins, and I want to try to maybe increase my position in Ethereum so I can maybe move some more back to Saitama, or whatever your own personal venture is. But regardless, in crypto, it's difficult to kind of sit back and watch other tokens flourish while yours is not. You know what I mean?
Yo, that is admittance right there. It is difficult. It is difficult. I can only imagine. OG Ganjagoon, the original OG, the first guy that changed his name as soon as the poll ended. He's like, that's it. I'm an OG Ganjagoon. Terra listed on an exchange on February 28th. Thoughts? Terra, I mean, it has to pump. I think it is actually trading sideways, right? If not, small downtrend right now. But I think that breakout's going to happen. A lot of people are holding. I know a lot of people that got in the early launch bought at the 7s, and I think it's already dropped to 0. So it has to continue to go up. What was it, like L Bank or something? Xavier, let me see. Morning, Marty. Welcome. Bobby, I'm a 2-day hodler for Shinja and a pre-sale in Terra. Haven't sold anything yet. Well, you know when to sell, Marty. Don't just hold, right? OG Ganjagoon. I think L Bank, right? Michelle, Marty, good morning. Wonder why dare. Yo, this guy like flat out admitting things, guys. Like, this is crazy. Terra pumping, Teddy. Terra's pumping. Okay, nice. Table man. Nice. I love Shinja over 1 trillion reflections a day. Where else? Reflections. Reflections are going to be the thing. Xavier, how did you hear about Shinja so early? Hoover the FUD killer. I'm getting quads a day. Dang.
And it doesn't mean that it's a bad project or one project is better than the other. It just everything has its time, right? Everything has its time in the market, and everyone will go on their run at one given time or another, depending on what catalyst you have to inject into that, into the community or into the project. So, yeah, with our wallet and the swap function opening up, um, being able to add a lot of these different functions into the match that we want, having it be ready to go so we can implement these new coins, so we can roll out, our NFT platform and our game and all the stuff that we want to really put into it. That's going to kind of really take that shift of momentum and really start to put us on that uphill climb. I really truly think that we have been at the bottom for long enough. It's our time now to get that momentum back in our favor. So we're finally there. And I try to express that to people too, like on the AMA, like we've been so frustrated. Like anybody in the community that's frustrated and vent their frustrations, I promise you, mine is 10 times worse than that.
For sure.
I just don't show it because I know I have patience, right? I channel my inner Zen and be like, okay, because I know that it's happening, right? We speak with the engineers every day. We speak with the development team every single day. We all know what we're doing. We know where we're at. So it's difficult sometimes from a community standpoint or from an investor because you don't really know, right? So if you were a holder and you're just trying to get your information through social media or through YouTube, and you're like, hey, where are we at with this? Like when's the swap going to open up? How far along? Is there like a progression? Are we at 80%? Are we 90%? When's that next big push? When's that next catalyst? When are we going to start receiving that upward momentum? And you don't really know, so you speculate a lot. And then when you speculate, you leave yourself up for disappointment. And then when you disappoint yourself, then you start to
Guys, I am speculating. I am speculating the price that I think it's gonna pump once SataMask works. I can't see all these investors returning, selling other coins, buying Saitama. I'm just being giving you my opinion of what I believe it is. I mean, I could be wrong, right? I've been wrong. Even with the Terra, I was wrong. I thought once it dropped the 0, it was gonna dip before it pumped again, but it actually continued to pump till 1.4 and then came back down. So could be wrong.
To second guess your investment, and that's kind of where people have kind of gotten. So we're at that point now where I can say that we're starting to take a turn for the best, and we're ready for some green days, and we're ready for that momentum and that narrative to shift.
Absolutely. And I see a lot of people here. Moonwalk Coins, President Shield, Coco K, Alfalfa. Good to have the family back in the stream, as well as Christine. I want to take this to you as well, Russ. Look, the Wolfpack, you have built, the community has built, the team has built a very strong and loyal community, like very, very loyal and passionate community. And that's probably one of the reasons, even while we see this downtrend for Saitama and things not going as planned, that's one of the reasons that I'm so bullish, is because I still see them. There's 300,000+ holders. I mean, what are your thoughts right now? You probably log on Twitter and you see the people that are still, you probably see a lot of FUD. I'm sure you get the most FUD out of anybody. I'll just go ahead and say that, like probably a lot. But you also probably get a bunch of positivity, right? I'm sure your DMs are flooded with positivity. I'm sure you see all the people that are still bullish on Saitama. Let me ask you that. What are your thoughts on the Wolfpack, man? Like the loyal.
Oh,
some people even call them
great,
cultish because they're so loyal.
Yeah, I see it all. Trust me, I see the negativity, but I see way more positive
For sure.
than I do negative. And then the people that are negative, I've never seen before ever in my life. You know what I mean? They're like the only I've seen like one, like a comment, like I don't even, they have like one follower, right? It's clearly like a ghost account of some kind. But yeah, I don't see any of the people that have been in Saitama for a long time. They're out there funding the project, like, because they were there, right? They were there when we were at a 10 million market cap, right? All the way up to a 16 billion market cap, and then all the way back down to a 900 million market. So they've been through this progression up and down, and people that have been in crypto for a while, and not for a while, I say like years, where the market has done that and it's gone through drastic changes. But there's it's still there. Like you can still tell, like the people that have been in Saitama for a long time in the Wolfpack, like they're still excited because they know where we've come in the last 8 months and how much further we have to still go. So, you know what I mean? So today, as opposed to yesterday, or as opposed to last month, we're yet to even scratch the surface of really where we're going to be in a few months from now or a few years from now. So what the price point today is really makes no difference to them. And I mean, unless you're planning on, skimming the good milk from the top at all time high to fatten your pockets, that's fine. But, long-term holders and investors knowing that this is going to set them up, for years to come, doesn't matter. Like they're there through and through. And that's not cultish. It's called loyalty.
That's not cultish. It is. I guess it's not. It's called loyalty. You're all hodling through. Teddy, do you buy in to Terra? I did buy into Terra. I put in 0.39 ETH. Last I checked, it was like 0.56. So definitely in profitable area, but not enough that I want to pull out. Imagine if I put in 10 grand instead. Saitama is ready to pump again. I believe that's what Saitama Guru's saying, right? So he's applauding the hodlers, saying not everyone is evil, and fudding Saitama, and people are coming around and being positive. So I'm being positive. I've always been positive. I just don't like when what's it called? When FUD is being spread on AWS, and I'm a big AWS guy, and that was the point that I hit on with Saitama. I never bash Saitama as a whole, right? I may have my opinions about Saitama, but I still hold Saitama. I mean, it's okay to be critical of the project, as Rodney says. By the way, guys, 47 of you, 49 of you in the stream, please like the stream. Let's continue to get some OG Ganja Goons up here for this morning live streams. I'm gonna try and do a morning live stream. It seems to be a sweet spot. I got a lot of comments, especially on Twitter, that you guys like the morning live stream because you come off of mine, then someone else streams, and you're progressing. So this seems like a good time slot. I haven't chose. I can wake up at 6 in the morning. From my analytics, it's saying there's not enough viewers out there that watch me. 7 a.m. seems to be a sweet spot as well. Because I want to get some interaction with you guys, right? If it's just me and like 3 other guys from 6 a.m. to 6:45 a.m., I would still do it. That's the thing. I literally don't. It doesn't matter to me about the numbers as long as I'm documenting my knowledge, and it is on a platform that even when I turn old and get Alzheimer's, I can be like, "Who is this? Oh snap! That's me when I was young. I can't believe I did all this. Look at me now." And Zach come from us like the smash button. Smash the like button. Oh my God. Marty.
I'm big in loyalty. I'm a huge fan of loyalty, right?
It's important.
If you don't have loyalty, especially in business, then it ain't for you.
It's important.
We turn down stuff all the time. Like if I don't, and I tell people all the time, if it doesn't feel good.
I've actually never heard that term. It is if it isn't for loyalty in business. Like if it isn't for loyalty in business, I don't know. Loyalty in business. Like I'm a big I've seen a lot of Trump guys, right? Like and Trump's always like, you got to be a shark and you have to be this type of person in business. That's the only way you make money. You can't be like nice, right? So
to me, we won't do it. And it doesn't matter how much money is on stake or what it looks like. If it's not something that I'm comfortable with, if it's not something the development team is not comfortable with, we just won't do it.
Exactly.
Trust your intuition, man. It's business.
And look, loyalty is important for me. I think it's important for a lot of people. Like it really says a lot about people. Like good times and bad times, man. You got to be with people, friends, companies, businesses, investments, good times and bad times if you're bullish. I haven't talked to you about this personally. I hope you're okay with talking about it. If you want to skip over the question, we can skip over it. But in terms of loyalty,
are we about to get a hard hitting, the hard questions from Jake Gagan? Let's go.
Saw what happened with Lily Finance. Look, I was going to buy Lily Finance. I didn't really understand the use case. Obviously, I met Brad in Vegas. I saw him on stage. The use case was always, I was like, what do they do? And that was like always my thing. I'm like, I don't really get it. Like heard AMAs. But last minute, man, they decided to end the contract, end the partnership with Saitama. I mean, there's 1,200 people in here. Can you kind of explain to us what happened with the Lily Finance launch and why they decided to end the partnership with Saitama?
Wait, real quick. Bobby Basshead, $2 donation, $1.99. He's in Shintama, Volt, Shinja, Terra. Let's go. I am in Shinja and Terra. I'm not in Shintama, not in Volt. I know Volt suffered some glitch and the chart didn't look so good the last time I looked at it. But also, seriously, smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, Marty. Thank you. I appreciate you. Keep coming back to the Ganja Goons. So welcome. Sata Mask working will bring the big exchange listings in. That is the hope. I even saw last night with Sandstorm when I got on his AMA, he had received a DM from Justin Moonshot, Just Moonshot, and he said once the utility comes in, that could be why the exchanges are afraid to list them. So they need that utility. So guys, we will see. We will see. Terra is only around 2,111 holders. Imagine when and if we get to 100K to 300K, filthy rich people being minted. I mean, it's an exchange, right? So in reality, they need to get to users that keep coming back to the exchange, because what you don't want to happen is you've been using Coinbase your entire life, and then from Coinbase you switch to crypto.com. Now you're not using Coinbase.com anymore, you know, so you have to somehow keep these people coming back. Let me see what else. Real quick, Cornish Crypto. I'm loving the change in attitudes the YouTubers adopting, the change to promoting positivity instead of toxicity. They're basically copying you, Teddy. It depends who you ask. I will tell you that, Cornish Crypto. Some people continue to hate me. I've been on AMAs where I just see in the comments, oh no, you brought on Teddy. That's it. I'm leaving. Like, you know, there is still a oh my god, I know someone just told me there was misconstrues. I don't know. English is my second language, but there's still this perception that I am a fodder and I am just here to attack Saitama and everything around with them. How swap Saitama? Hardly any place you get a quote. What? How to swap Saitama? Hardly any place you get a quote. What, you can't swap?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of a little bit kind of blindsided us a little bit too. I mean, I know they were on a timeline as far as to get the token launched, but I mean, we weren't going to cut corners just to satisfy the need of one coin. You know, we have an obligation to our 330,000+ holders that we got to provide a safe trading platform for. So, I mean, we don't get strong armed and we're not bullied into like releasing a product that we're not comfortable with. So they had their deadlines, right? They had, you know, marketing or whatever that they needed to do. You know, and then they're their own company, so they can make their own decisions. Like they had to kind of weigh out the pros and cons of that. Like, hey, yeah, we're jeopardizing a relationship with Saitama, but we also have to get our coin launched because of X, Y, and Z, right? So at the end of the day, that's entirely their decision. You know, and we have to respect that, I guess, or we don't have to, but we choose to, right? We can't do anything else about it. So they made the decision to launch on Uniswap, which is again totally and entirely up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, you know, where your loyalty lies is different with everybody else. So.
Exactly.
Oh wow, he didn't get that loyalty from Lily. And I also heard him in other AMAs, I think in the Sandstorm, that they just branched off, that healthcare aspect's not going to be included now, and Say Mask Lily's doing its own thing, right? And they had a cool car. Lily, I saw that NASCAR thing. That, I mean, when I first saw the Photoshop thing, they're like, hey, we're gonna have this car. I thought it was just gonna be like a bumper and it's just gonna say Lily there, but they got the entire car. I don't know how much they paid for it, but it was pretty cool to see. I don't know. I think that does stand out a little bit more than like a UFC, but I know a lot more people. I don't know. I guess NASCAR, a lot more people watch than UFC. I don't know the audience metrics, but one day I'll look into it.
I think they look. I get it. Like they probably have investors. They probably have people that they needed to go live. They had a payroll. The launch wasn't as planned, which will take me to the next question. Seda Realty, which is coming out here pretty soon. Obviously, you guys have launched successful tokens. You know, you've had fair launches. Can you kind of walk us through why investors should feel secure investing in Seda Realty? Before you came on here, I was saying, look, and Russ, these are my words, right? There's going to be a ton of volume that goes into this token. Like people from Saitama, the Wolfpack, all the whales out there, like there's going to be a ton of volume. And my concern is I don't want people to get burned. Like, what are we going to do to stop the bots? What are we going to do to kind of ensure that it is a fair launch? Walk us through the Seda Realty launch that's going on live on 3/1.
Yes, I mean, so when you have a fair launch, right, on a different platform, not say something like Uniswap or wherever else, and it's highly anticipated, right? So I'm just going to use Lily as an example because it's recent and it was a very highly anticipated launch. When you shine a giant flashlight on a launch of any token of that magnitude with a highly anticipated launch and anticipated volume, right? Like the Lily launch was more anticipated than, you know, my grandma's slipper that launched on Uniswap 2 days ago, right, or whatever it is. That was much more anticipated. So you knew automatically there was going to be a lot of volume. So what you're doing is you're baiting front run bots, and you're doing it on a platform that you can't control. Uniswap is not controlled by the people that launch the tokens on there. I don't care how clean your smart contract is. You are not going to be able to mitigate front run bots on it because you do not control the platform, right? You don't control it. You can control the contract that you deploy on it and when you deploy it and when you inject liquidity, but you can't control the bot. So if you're having a lot,
well, you can't control the bots, but Terra did a launch. They controlled when they injected and when they launched, right? And it doesn't appear like Terra had a bot attack. So I have seen a fair launch and done correctly. I have seen a fair launch get botched as well. It's interesting.
launch that didn't go over so well from the beginning, and now you introduce a lot of front run bots to it, it's going to end badly, regardless of who it is. I don't care what company deploys the contract; it's just bad. So we are launching State of Realty on our platform. We don't have bots on our platform, so that kind of mitigates that right off the bat. So we don't have to worry about people coming in, buying up all the liquidity and doing, buying huge bags for, fractions of a penny less than what everybody else is, and then dumping it 20 minutes later, right? So is there going to be a lot of volume? Will there be people that get in before others? Sure. I mean, you can't really do anything about that. It's just how, you get in there numerically, right? What your slippage tolerance is set at, like how you get into there's still going to be real investors. Is it going to run up? Will there be a lot of volume? Absolutely. Will people take profit? Probably. If it runs up a 10x from their initial investment, probably. There's
Yeah, if it runs up a 10x from initial investment, this is exactly what I want, Saitama Guru. This is exactly what I want. Just imagine if that happened now. We lose another zero. It's gonna be great. Real quick, what was it? I am looking forward to Doja Swap and wish Cliff and all the luck, right, for a problem-free launch. That is the hope, but we all know Dojo Swap is web-based, so it's not an app, right? So I think it's going to be much easier for a swap to come out on just the desktop or on the web. Okay, even better. Teddy, you're having a great live and love it. That is daytime here in Sweden. Okay, awesome. Hoover, you're from Sweden. Welcome. I have PewDiePie. The only thing I know about Sweden is PewDiePie's from Sweden, and I recently found out Swedish Fish is not even from Sweden. I'm like, what? I do like Swedish Fish. I like PewDiePie, but I heard he also moved away. So Teddy, check out Terra's new website, dude. I saw the new website. How much time? I got time. Let me see where this goes to. If they start go. I mean, right now, I don't know if I've learned anything new, but I'm liking the way Russ is delivering. I'm liking the way he's accepted. I don't want to say accepted defeat, but accepted the reality of investors leaving. And his goal is now he's a coin. He's flat out said it, right? He's a coin. He's watching other coins being successful, and it does hurt him, but he needs to keep his composure and continue to go on and continue to find catalysts for Saitama token to 10x, 20x, 100x. And that's literally what I'm reading from his voice and actions, right? Like even the way he's portraying himself here. Terra already burnt 50%, so I can see more burns. BTC going to moon, but at the moment the moon is beneath us. So that means we're above the moon.
You can't really do anything about that, but the actual true sense of the word and having it be a fair launch will be completely accurate, right? Those will be actual real investors putting in, but we're also going to have limitations set in place. So you're not allowed to have a enormous price impact. That's on a buy or sell. So we'll set the limitations up. We haven't put those percentages in place yet, but we'll probably set it to like 5%, I would imagine. I'll ask Max on what he feels is good. So when you buy or sell, you cannot buy or sell with a greater than 5% price impact. It's not even allowing you to. So if you want to buy a lot in the beginning, you're going to have to do it through multiple transactions. And you still can.
I'm a Dr. Praveen into this. I'm gonna do multiple transactions, multiple wallets, and I'm gonna make it happen. No, I'm just kidding. I cannot do that. I'm not a whale like that. What do you say? 5%, 5%. I don't know if 5% is enough. I feel like 5% is easy to take profits and take it, take your money out. You know, I feel like maybe you should do like that timed period, kind of like what Terra did with the 3 weeks or something of 17% sell tax. That has stopped a lot of people from selling. People did sell, but it has stopped a lot of people as well. Guys, 57 of you here. Welcome to the Ganja Goons. I'm Teddy Ganja. This is the Crypto Future channel. Please like the stream before you leave or go to the next thing or anything that you have geared up for today. I only wish the best for everyone that comes and at least says hi to us here at the Ganja Goons. 808 Crypto, saw you say hello. Nice to see you again. Shinja Clan, Terra Squad, about to blow up. 2:40 a.m. in Hawaii, bro. Get some sleep. I promise there will be more Teddy for you when you wake up. I've been doing a lot more live streams. I keep trying to do videos, but it's like I have so much stuff I want to say, but I do have to get back to the videos because that also helps. Greetings from Singapore. Xavier Tan, thank you. Thank you. I like Singapore. I think I've seen that Mariner, that little cruise ship that they got on 3 buildings. Like, dude, one day I want to get a room there just to say I stayed in that building. Like the stream, MS. Thank you. Thank you. You guys got to beware. With money made from Seder Realty, Russ is going to buy a mansion in Dubai, Hawaii. Awesome. Yes, I agree. I agree. And by the way, that was a $10 donation. 808 Crypto. Crazy. 2:40 a.m. and you still dishing out money, bro. Ah.
But it gives other people an opportunity during that time to also pick up a bag. You know what I mean? So there'll be. So that's about as fair as you could possibly get. But again, without the bot activity and being able to minimize some of that impact and keep the price impact movement on the buys and sells very minimum, to like a 5%, it'll help that chart move at a very steady pace instead of just straight up in the air. It's like 100 billion market or 100 million market cap, straight down, straight back. You know what I mean? So there'll be, there'll be a lot of volume at first. People will buy. There will be people taking profits within the first 24 hours probably. And then it'll kind of balance out, and then it'll kind of work its way back up from there. And that's what you can kind of anticipate with any kind of launch, regardless of bot activity or not. But when you start dealing with highly anticipated launch that you're allowing bot activity into, then it's going to be way, way, way worse. So taking that out of the...
I don't get this. How are you allowing bot activity into it? I mean, I know from TARP that you can stop bots, right? They have all this like stuff, hey, cooldown timers, this and that. I don't know. It just feels weird.
The equation will do wonders for us. And then setting that price impact at a relatively low percentage, like 5%, will also help.
You're safeguarding as much as you can. It's on your own platform, so you have control of that. But this is definitely a look. Like I'm calling it as I see it. This is going to be a highly anticipated launch. I mean, like there's 330,000 people that hold Saitama. There's a lot of whales in the crypto space. Like this is going to be a highly anticipated launch. I'm very excited for it. I want to ask you while we have you here, can you kind of explain? We have 1,300 people in the stream right now, and if you haven't yet, do me a favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more Jake, Classy, and Russ. We got to get Russ back on the stream more often, maybe every once in a while. But
I got a little something too.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just about to say Classy's just been hovering. I don't know. I haven't seen anything other than his like. I'm hoping he has something good. Let's see. I'm hoping he's because Jake's questions have been very very neutral, right? He's not throwing softballs at Russ. He's actually like, these are the facts. What do you think? What do you have to say? And Russ is responding. And I've noticed that change in Russ since I seen him on the Sandstorm AMA. He is willing to take these hard questions as well, guys. So it's quite interesting.
We got to get Classy on here as well. Real quick, let me take this to Russ. But can you explain the Cider Realty token? Because it came out. Like, I understand you have a background in, commercial real estate and real estate. That's your background. But I'm kind of confused because I haven't seen a token that's bridged real estate and real world assets into Web3. So look, there's 1,300 people on here. I'm sure some people know about it. Some people don't. Could you kind of give us the high level? You always say it when you have Max on the stream. Like, I'm going to give you the dumbed down version. Could you guys kind of give us the dumbed down version, the high level over?
It's not dumbed down. It's layman's terms. He's going to tell us in layman's terms.
View of what we should expect from Seder Realty.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually going to do an AMA tomorrow that will dive like into the white paper, what that looks like. But the dumbed down version of what that is, is we're essentially taking a digital asset and molding it with a physical asset with commercial real estate and residential as well. So it's going to come into the form of 3 tiers. So when you purchase or swap your Saitama token with the Side Realty token, a percentage of that transaction, 9% to be exact.
Oh man, he went over that real quick.
5% is going to go to capital. That capital is the money that's going to be utilized to purchase real property. So the Saitama LLC and team owns the entire company, right? The same development team. We have some project leads that we've added on there.
Nice, and I have to tell you, I haven't seen any tokens. Like when I think about buying property, I don't know if he's talking about buying property in Metaverse. I haven't even looked into Seda Realty. But like I think about it like a Zillow or like one of those other like house sites, right? They buy up a lot of these properties, and somehow they either like resell those properties for a higher percentage, right? They increase that value of the home, or I'm not sure, I guess, like how we would get that money back into Seda Reality. These are things I do not know, and I'm just trying to understand how it's going to work, how you get money from buying things, but then there's a period of where you don't have money coming in because you have to sell it or something, right? Or let's say it's rents or something. I don't know. Like it's the idea just feels. I'm not sure what the word is. It just feels like it's definitely never been done before, I'm assuming. I haven't heard of it, but I just don't understand how you get that money back in, because now you're buying back in, you're paying gas fee, you're gonna buy what, ETH, and then change it to Seda Realty. I don't know.
But it's going to be ran by the same. So the essential way that we're going to have it is have that crypto asset be converted into fiat, and then use that fiat to purchase commercial property with.
Dope.
Right. So 5% tax buy and sell goes to that capital asset that we'll use to buy the property with. Now that commercial asset is owned by Saitama Realty or Seda Realty, and every single holder that stakes their coin is now going to be able to receive a share of the revenue generated from that asset. And not just a singular asset, but whatever revenue is generated from the entire.
See, that's what I don't get. How is revenue generated? So let's assume you buy a house. I don't care whether it's Metaverse or you're buying a house in the real world, right? How are you generating revenue? Now you're paying taxes. Now you pay in insurance. Now you pay in a mortgage, right? Okay, let's assume they get enough money. They can just buy. How many houses they going to buy? Like with the market cap, what? They're going to get 200,000, 500,000? How many houses? Okay, so they go to the West Coast, maybe, or not even the Central, right? Kansas. They start buying 5 houses for 100K each, no basement type thing, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I just don't understand how that turns into passive income.
The company. So we'll start off. We'll buy 1 or 2. So the 3 phases that are on there. The first one is actually buying already constructed commercial lots that have like a 90% capacity that are generating revenue upon transaction. So as soon as we buy it, that lease for the building that's pure revenue because we're cash buyers. So we'll buy the property.
Oh, they're cash buyers. So Seda Realty would have to be cashed out to buy commercial properties. Buying commercial properties is a thing. People buy commercial properties, like let's say you have a strip mall and you're renting out each and everything to different businesses. Well, sometimes landlords of these commercial properties just are like, hey, I can't take care of this anymore. I'm willing to sell it. And this is the amount I'm going to sell it for. And commercial property rents are higher than a house rental, right? So, or is sometimes lower depending on where the area is. But so they buy it, but there's X amount of time to get back the money that you've invested in. Yes, it's passive income, but you are losing value in that coin. He does aware how hard it is to run realty with real money, let along with crypto valued, and its cash offers. So like they are gonna have to cash out. There may be Saitama Dust wallets, but when we pump, they will be filled up again. We've been top 10 on Dexels for weeks now. People are on the sidelines waiting for the FOMO in. I really hope so. Cornish Crypto, I hope so. When the bubbles pops, realty will be dirt cheap. Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking. Housing market is straight profit, bro. Bro, housing market is straight profit. I own 4 homes myself. Like, it is profitable, but like it ain't that much. I mean, houses they have to flip, apartment buildings or commercial properties, they can generate monthly revenue. But that initial investment that you have to get back, right? You're only getting passive income. Okay, so I guess he's not saying it's profitable. He's saying it's passive income. I guess I will take it, Al. Al Cleary, I believes it.
Property, that revenue is already generating, so
Wow.
it goes into the pot. And because we are cash buyers, we don't need to pay, a mortgage or a lien on the property or anything.
Yep.
All we're doing is paying the insurance, liability, and tax. So that's all pure profit. So that profit goes into the pot.
See
We'll
that
continue to accumulate 5%.
that's the part. How can it be pure profit? It's not pure profit till you get your initial investment back. It's just passive income.
Tax on that. We'll go buy some more. We'll take the profit from that. We'll distribute it to the holders. We'll take 50% for franchise and development. We'll buy more, and so on and so forth.
And real quick, before we dive deeper, the distributing
Yeah.
to the holders. Like, let's say I own this token. You're taking,
Mhm.
5% for capital. Let's say I don't know exactly the tokenomics, but let's say I own 1 trillion tokens. Like, how will that look like? It says passive income in USD. Will that be sent like USDC to the wallet address that I have, or will it be sent to my bank account? Like, what do the rewards to holders look like?
Yeah, so we're trying to see if we have to actually do it from a sense where we're more like an S corp because they're actually paid dividends from a company. So now you're actually a shareholder in the company when you stake your coins. So the people that are holders, you can hold it because it's still DeFi. You'll still get reflections like you would normally, and it still has a burn mechanism put in there. So you're actually going to be getting a dividend if you stake your coins based on the amount of coins that you stake. So that's based on a percentage. So if you're a large holder,
No, I just saw this comment from Al. It will take 30 years before any profits will be generated enough to share with holders. That is exactly how I'm feeling. Like, imagine how much properties you have to buy. Like, guys, I'm not even trying to spread FUD or anything. I'm just trying to ingest the information that's being said by Russ and the questions asked by Jake and understand if it's making sense to me. So I'm choosing whether I want to invest or not. And right now, it ain't making too much sense to me because, like, in order to make it profitable, I do have to wait. Because even for the homes I have bought, yeah, the rents come in, the rent pays for a mortgage, maybe, and it somehow may be paid off. I'm not paying a mortgage, but that's pure profit. But that's only like covers like X amount. If I want to buy more properties, do you know how many times I have to wait for rents or how many rents I need to have come in to go buy another property? Because now I've invested 500,000 in, let's say, a commercial property. Each commercial property, if they have 5, is giving me 1,000 USD. Now across those 5, I'm getting 5,000 USD a month. 5,000 USD a month is not enough for me to go buy another property. So imagine the scale that Seda Realty needs to be. I'm just speaking from what I'm ingesting, right? So I may be wrong. This may be amazing. I'm hoping it is, but everything in my mind is like, hey, tread cautiously, It's just like trust fund. They're building, but the returns will take a really long, long time. I ain't going to hold on to Saitama for 30 years. I hope to have kids by then. I hope to have a Lamborghini by then. I hope to have even more houses because at some point I've always wanted to live in a mansion. A lot of my friends come over and they're like, yo, Teddy, this already feels mansiony for the new house I moved into. But I'm like, nah, I want to go bigger. This is not enough. I'm not satisfied. And they're like, Teddy, you made it. You bought a house. It's a new construction, this and that. I'm like, no, bro, I don't feel like I made it. I feel like I'm here for the long term. I need to do more. And my mind just keeps going. So everything I'm hearing from these guys, I'm literally like, I don't know. I think it'll be a 10-year, 15-year. I would be shocked. I mean, unless they've already made money, like he worked for Berkshire Hathaway or something, so maybe he's already made all that money at the crypto future. Exactly what happens if there's a default in rent or a sell with loss? What's covering? I've had this happen where a tenant stopped paying me. I had to go get a real estate lawyer, and the real estate lawyer helped get that rent back, but they had to take it from the person's paycheck. And it was sad, because I felt like, hey, they should have paid the rent. But now I'm down for 5 months that they didn't pay rent. Need to recuperate those losses. So I went to the lawyer, and the lawyer's like, hey, we can take it right from their paycheck. And it's not like, hey, we're taking their full paycheck. They're like, they take $100 from their paycheck. And eventually that has to add up to the amount that I lost. And it also has to pay for the lawyer, right? So it's quite crazy. Teddy, fast questions, no FUD. So are we supposed to trust Russ to make good investment for the holders? Who will be making the choices on what properties are purchased? Yes, exactly. Aaron Rod coming in with the real questions here. That's what I want to know too. Like, what if he comes up to us and he's like, hey, so I bought this property, it's a commercial property. We go look at it and it's like in a bad neighborhood or something like that. And I know neighborhoods are constantly improving, but I'm just trying to think of it as like, what if it's like Section 8 housing? Nothing against Section 8 housing. I'm just trying to understand how they can do this. Exactly. What happens if there's a default in rent? Yep. Is SEDA Realty cover if this situation happens? It sounds like no. I mean, those lawyers have to be on point, right?
And you hold 1% of the circulating supply, or 1% of the supply that's being staked, rather, and then you're going to get your dividend based on that amount, and that amount will be dependent on how much revenue is in that pot biannually. So the first revenue distribution may not be that big because we're only going to hold 3 or 4 properties. The second revenue distribution will obviously be much more, so on and so forth. So at the point, if we're holding, State Realty Holding Company has 30 properties and we're generating $3.5 million in revenue a year, now your distribution is being
30 properties, $3.5 million in revenue a year. I am not a real estate person, but I have worked with realtors before that have sold 30 something properties, and they get X amount of percentage from that, right? So 30 properties. So let's assume 30 properties. He said 3.5 million. So how much money does each of these 30 properties in average need to give me a month to get to 3.5 million? Not $6,000. 30 times, oh man, I can't even do this. 30 times 50,000. 30 times 50,000 is okay. 30 is 1.5 million. 30 times 75,000. 2.25. So I'm gonna use 75,000. So across 30 properties, they need to make 75,000 USD for each property. So 75,000 divided by 12, that would be $6,250. So I'm using 2.25 million across 30 properties, and that gave me 75,000. 75,000 divided by 12. Each property needs to pay $6,250 to hit this 3.5 million. I'm not good at math. I may look Indian. I am Indian, but math is not my forte. Coding is. I let the math wizards do the math, and then I can code away with those formulas. But $6,250 is how much each one of those properties needs to give a month, right? Each month they need to give $6,250 to hit that 2.5 million, and that's 2.25 million. He said 3.5 million, so I'm not even there. So that'd be 10 grand a month, which is plausible. Some of these commercial properties do go up that high, but not every single one. You have to understand the market. Classy's gonna explode soon if he doesn't get that. Look at his face, bro. Classy looks so. Oh, let me talk. If all trust fund investors will need to sign an agreement. The other thing, there's like multi-sig wallets, right? So multiple people need to approve it before funds get taken out. So that could be one of the things they do.
being much larger.
Yeah.
And you're getting your passive income from that, as well as your passive income from the token distribution being as DeFi.
Absolutely. And real quick, one more question before I let you continue on here. How does the actual purchasing take place? Is this something that, I mean, obviously you have a background in commercial real estate and real estate. Are you just going out and vetting deals? Are there going to be other people online? Are you going to work with
We have a whole
realtors in
team.
certain spaces?
Yeah, we got a whole team. We got
You have a team?
I have a team here that I work.
Guys, I've heard this term. We have an entire team. We have teams on teams working on it. I'm hoping he has a team. I'm hoping they get docs, because the team that's on that white paper when I reviewed it was not a realty or realtors or brokers. They weren't anything in real estate, but I know Saitama Guru has that background. So very interested in knowing what that team is and what commercial properties they shoot for.
Work with like people on the ground. We have a brokerage firm, real estate, and we have connections with city council. We had pretty much everything.
I did not expect that. I literally just said that. He's like, we have a broker, we have a realtor. Okay. They're doing the right things, I guess.
And these are just people that I know and that I work with, for myself and buying and doing different things. So the idea was initially, I do a lot of like purchasing with the real estate and, and make money in that venture as well as crypto, because I can't seem to sit still for more than a day. So these are just other things that I do. When I'm like, it was kind of like an epiphany, like, well, I don't need to take like my own capital, right, and invest it into it. Like we can incorporate this into crypto, and better yet, we can incorporate it into Saitama to build out the ecosystem. So it's not like I'm the only one that's benefiting.
And to be honest, you're not really incorporating it into crypto. I mean, I guess you're using it as a passive income stream, but there's still parts of it that reside in fiat, right? Like I watch real estate or realty TV shows with my wife, and there's this like guy who sells a like a studio apartment in New York for Bitcoin. He's like 12,000 Bitcoin. Boom, here you go. Put it in. See, that is a real, hey, would the client take Bitcoin? Okay, I'm going to pay you 12,000 Bitcoin. Boom, he buys the property. This is, he needs to buy it in cash. So now I'm assuming he needs to sell SATA Realty tokens, or the way that the funding wallet is set up, it automatically gives them the reflection or the taxation in USDC or USDT. Then they're catching that out and buying these properties. But I don't see that as like true crypto adoption. I see true crypto adoption being that a realtor will now take payment in Ethereum, payment in Saitama, payment in Shinja, whatever the tokens that end up on SataMask. I feel like that's the true adoption of Sata Realty, hopefully.
I'm not the only one profiting. And now we can make it so everybody that's invested into it makes money on it, and everybody can get a piece of the pie. And not only that, but we're doing it in a much larger and a much quicker fashion because we have much more capital, and we're also throwing in the the philanthropic side of it, of building homes for homeless vets and the refugee program.
By the way, Al, clearly good question here. If you go back to the chart, where are the funds to buy all the properties going to? So 9% something wallet that they're putting into, and something else, right? Got some good mornings. Bryn Rex, good morning. Thank you. Welcome. It's already 8:04. I'm already way past where what I'm supposed to be. So I will be ending in like, let's see, my first meeting's at 8:30 a.m. So I got a few more minutes. Seriously, the more Russ speaks in the AMA, the more scammy it sounds. Little Classy looks bored. Dude, I'm about to end my stream and not once will Classy talk, and I feel so bad for him. Oh no. Good morning, Crypto Life. Good morning. Good morning, Ganja Goons. Front run bots execute right before and after buy and sell. So they execute before and after buy and sell. So what do front run bots have to do with the Memcache unconfirmed or transactions that haven't been confirmed that sit on the node? I don't know. We will get there, man. Baby steps. Yes, Raj, baby steps. Love these live streams. Awesome, Crypto Life. Welcome. Love from India. RS, thank you. RS, I have met lots of fans in India. I have met one fan in India. He was great. And I hope that one day I'll get to return and meet more fans. I've never, till that experience, I've never met fans before. I've even been to California, was supposed to meet with the fan, but then they never followed through. So it's quite exciting. Glad to see a fan here.
Program and all the affordable housing stuff that's coded into the white paper, a percentage of that revenue is going to go to that as well. So it really kind of hits every single angle that we wanted to, as well as being extremely lucrative in the process, and not just for our ecosystem, but for the investors.
Exactly. And three things.
I know he says it hits every angle that they wanted to, but he said 30 something properties, 3.5 million. And these are numbers he said in here, right? And I've told you, just to get to 2.25 million, each of those 30 properties per month has to give $6,250 at least, just for 2.25 million. So 3.5 million dollar in revenue. That just feels so crazy. You go into Miami in June, Teddy. I do not go to hot climates. I already sweat a lot, so going to a hot area would just be miserable for me. And it's so sad because I know Rolling Loud, which is one of the music festivals I attend, is going to be in Miami around that time. And I'm just like, there's no way I can go. I need to somehow. So I will wait for them to come back to New York and attend the New York Rolling Loud. Classy is so stressed. His brain is going crazy. We don't know what Classy is. We're just assuming from his face here. But yes, I love you, Russ. Will wait, what? I love you, Russ. Will you have my babies? Oh my God, Cornish, you're killing me. What you think about Saitama recovered in my initial investment? Average is in the 60s, bro. By the way, guys, stop what you're doing. Like the stream. Really helps me out, helps the channel grow. Hopefully, we'll get more and more people that wake up early and find my channel because I am streaming early. I do not think Saitama will recover to the sixes. I think it will 2x, so threes, fours, fives. Sixes, like we need some strong wills coming in, aren't coming to Singapore. It's a super hot there, 24-hour summer. Oh, if there's AC, I'm gonna make sure every single time it's AC to AC, I guess. Teddy, you come, I get VIP at Rolling Loud. Chill with Post Malone and others. Wait, what the heck? Crypto Life, you've been to Rolling Loud? And you get VIP? I've never paid for the VIP. The max I paid is like the tier 3 ticket, which was like $600. But yeah, 3.6 million revenue a year. Tinder, 1.3 billion revenue a year. Guys, what Michelle has said about Seda dating, it needs to happen. More revenue in that. Illuminati confirmed. Oh my God, is anyone doing a crypto dating app? Could you imagine if Tinder is getting 1.3 billion from their revenue, and now you make crypto and you make it a dating app like Michelle has made a TikTok about? That would just be a straight competitor, and you'd get so much more money. Classy is such a puppet. It's disgusting. I unsubscribed from his channel, Pistol Pete. Hopefully you never unsubscribe from mine, or hopefully you are subscribed to mine, so that way you don't ever unsubscribe. Oh, it's Seda Match. That's what it is. Jake, Illuminati confirmed. My partner is friends with all the artists, all festivals. Oh my God, I need to talk to this guy. Later, Crypto Life, hit me up, DMs at Teddy Ganja on Twitter. I would definitely like to know because I want to get in on those
things here I want to point out, and you can probably agree, but you do have to own Saitama to purchase Seda Realty, correct?
Correct.
That's genius. That's genius for the dev, because it's like, hey, you want to buy this token, you have to purchase Saitama.
Wait. You have to hold Saitama to get Seda Realty. Seda Realty has a wallet that they use to cash out, and then they better bring receipts. Because like the whole cash out to buy a property, and now Saitama is going to be used to buy Seda Realty, which means Saitama's now gone, right? Those tokens aren't there. Now I have Seda Realty. I cash out in this wallet. Now I bring back the money into Saitama and then move it to... it's just confusing.
Guess what happens to the Saitama price? Obviously, it goes up as more people purchase Saitama, or if they already hold it. But I'm guessing a lot of people will purchase Saitama to invest in this. Now, I want to ask you real quick, too, about the timing. Because the timing came the day before Lily Finance broke away. But I've been following you and hearing your AMAs, obviously, and I want to hear from you. But my understanding was this was something that you've been working on for a while. After joining your AMAs, you were always talking about another token that you haven't released yet. You haven't released that. Obviously, it came right before the Lily Finance, like the day before. But this was something you guys have been working on for weeks, months. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, no, we've been working on this for a while.
Yeah.
I understand he says this, but I just don't, Jake. I feel like that question is what is it called? It's like a question where he can only say yes, right? Is this right? Is this right? And the reason I say that is because I personally feel what happened is Lily separated, and now they had all this architecture that they've done to list tokens on Saitama, like the Lily, right? It was exclusive to SataMask, like they haven't done that before, so they worked on that for Lily, and then Lily went away to Uniswap, and now they've done all this work. So instead of because I'm assuming with Lily would have been the same way. They would have to cash out to get government contracts or whatever, right? So now they have Seda Realty, and that's just a rebrand of Lily that they were working on in the back end. Because that white paper doesn't look like they spent months on it, Jake. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I'm not a white paper guy, but that's just it's a pre-vetted question. Oh my God. Like you guys can tell English is my second language. So yes, it was a pre-vetted question. Literally, that's what it sounded like. But that's why it just feels so weird. Yeah, I would not buy. I'm really interested, just like Lily, 300,000 Wolfpack holders. How many are going to buy Lily? Now, with Seda Realty, the Wolfpack is on board. So how many of the Wolfpack are going to buy Seda Realty? And it has to exceed the amount Lily has, right? Because Lily got to 8,000 or something. So Seda Realty, I'm hoping like 32,000, 40,000 holders day one. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and we actually kind of put it together. I want to say before we even went to LA for the Javante Davis fight. Like we kind of talked about it, and there was some other folks in similar industries that I speak with about the same regard about having a real estate token and how they were approached. And I'm like trying to figure out how we can put a spin on it to give it more of that unique Saitama feel and how it would be incorporated. And not only that, but done right. Like how we build it out and do it right in our platform. And, because we're always trying to set the bar a little bit higher and do things that are really kind of not traditional, right? We're doing things that are really off the wall almost, where it's not so extreme where it's impossible, but it's inside the realm of possibilities that we can, for sure handle. And being that we're kind of in the front runner of the space and on the DeFi space, that we really thought we could, take this and make it and create it into our own and make it really special. So we've been working on it for months. We just didn't want to announce anything until one, we got closer. Two, we knew SataMask was going to be.
Oh no. Am I still streaming? Why did this stop? It's a sign. It's a sign from the gods. The YouTube gods are saying, Teddy, this is enough. This is enough, Teddy. Don't go past this.
And then all the bugs and everything else was kind of ironed out. So, but no, yeah, it didn't have anything to do with Lily or otherwise. We've been working on this for several months.
Perfect. I have 3 more questions, Russ, and they're really good questions. One's regarding KuCoin, the other one's regarding Bitmart, the other one's regarding Islam Makhachev. Look, I'm a massive UFC fan. Dude, and I ask people on the stream, like, do you guys know who Islam Makhachev is? Like, most people are like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, dude, this guy is up next. So as a UFC fan, and UFC is probably the fastest growing sport in the world right now. Like, they're doing a great job. You guys signed Islam Makhachev. Right now, he's ranked number 4. He's fighting this weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. His opponent, quote unquote, got hurt. I guarantee Beneil Dariush backed out because he didn't want to fight this guy. But look, this guy is going to be a world champion. He's probably going to get a title shot this year if Conor McGregor doesn't come in and fight Charles Oliveira. Talk me through this partnership, man. You guys signed.
By the way, Conor McGregor has to come in for a title fight or something. I that's interesting because I seen he like broke his leg in like that Dustin Poirier fight. So I don't know how long it takes to get back to fighting standards from a leg break, but yes, Table Man, by the way, goodbye, good night, get some sleep. Everyone get some sleep. I would rather have you guys fresh and refreshed, ready to go with clear-headed thinking, Chaotic Noob class only gets 5 minutes before Russ has to go. Really? I'm going to have to go before even Classy, guys.
Probably one of the most respectable UFC fighters in the space. Like, this guy is about his business, his religion, just being a good person, and most likely a world champion in the next 365 days. You guys, and shout out to you guys. You guys didn't get enough credit for this, but you guys kept this private. You got a lot of shit for announcing, the other things early and whatnot, but it's like you guys kept this silent. If I met Islam Makhachev, That would have been all over IG. It would have been my Hinge profile picture, Russ. I tell you what, you probably don't know what Hinge is. You're married and happily married, but here it is with Islam Makhachev. Tell me what this partnership was like. And
I don't know what Hinge is either, but I'm assuming it's a dating app. That must be what Jake uses, I guess.
what you see.
Wait, I don't know if Jake's married. I regardless, dating apps work. I've been told, so I'm not hating on any of that. That is unfortunately what you have to do in this in these times. These millennials and everything, Gen Z, Gen X, all these guys are dating apps seem to be the way that you find love out there. It's one of the ways. So it's quite interesting.
See this partnership doing for Saitama in the long term.
Yeah, no, he's it's funny, man. He's very, very humble, right? Very down to earth, very business, right? He knows what he's doing, and he's very particular about who he wanted to do business with. And Aaron kind of made that connection through some different folks that he knows, right? He's our CMO, and he has a lot of connections within that UFC realm, and and other marketing agencies. So the opportunity was presented to us, and they were all about it, and they were all on board. So Aaron and I flew down to San Jose and met up with him and had dinner and talked. And he's a super humble guy, man. He's really excited about being on the team. I mean, it's not so much as a sponsorship as it is a partnership, because he's a Saitama holder and he wants to see it do well. And not only that, but people that follow him and trust his judgment. Obviously, to buy Saitama, he wants them to do well also. So if we do well, he does well. Everybody that buys Saitama because of him, they do well, everybody wins. So, but yeah, no, we were really excited, and we know, right? He's going to be the champ, right? So we got in and signed a long-term partnership with him, so he could, be all about Saitama. And I don't want, like I said, I was on the AMA earlier, I don't want to steal Aaron's thunder, but that's just kind of the tip of the iceberg of what he's been working on. So you guys will find out what that means here probably really soon. Yeah.
3.5 million followers. I think he's gained 500,000 followers in the past couple of days, but here he is. Here, and let me just ask you, you mentioned San Jose. I remember there was a time that you, Aaron, I believe Gabe, maybe not Gabe, but you guys took a trip to San Francisco. Was that back in January, I believe? And it's crazy how I know your guys' schedule. I just follow this token religiously. Was that to meet Islam Makhachev?
Yeah, that's why we were there.
Yeah, that's wild how it's weird. You're probably like, dude, how does this guy know this? But I follow.
Dude, I really hope I can hear Classy speak before I go.
Follow the token, man.
Well, then you would know you can't fly into San Jose. I mean, you can, but you got to fly to San Francisco anyways, or fly to LA. And then, so we just drove down to San Jose from San Francisco. But
yeah, I got out of there, Russ. As you know, you probably saw the mask and all the crazy people up there in the Bay Area. So
wild, man.
Dude, yeah, that's why I'm down in Orange County. I had to get out of San Francisco. It was just locked down. Crazy there. But that leads me to my final two questions that the community wants to know. First, let's take it to Bitmart. First off, dude, that was bad for 20 plus tokens. It crashed the price of Saitama 40% in one day. 40% in one day. Have we heard from Sheldon Bitmart? I mean, what's the latest, dude? Like literally, I think it was, I mean, you could probably speak to it better, but was it like 9 trillion or 90 trillion? Something crazy.
No, more than that. 600. Way more than that. So we were, 600, close to 700 trillion coins sold.
Oh man, there it is, 600. He's like, no, Jake, 600.
And what's the latest? What's the update?
From the hot wallet.
Anything?
So we kind of step back and let them do what they say they were going to do. And they have not, so now it's a legal issue, and I can't talk about it.
Perfect.
So,
that's good. Well,
but we had to we had to kind of up our game a little bit. Like I said, we kind of took a step back and allowed them some time to do the right thing, and I failed to do so. So now it's a legal issue. But that's why we got like 50 attorneys on staff, because we got to keep them employed.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot. I know that, Classy and I, both of us, we make Saitama content. We got hit with the copyright stuff, and I sent you all the information.
60 of them,
back in the day, Russ. Remember that? Like,
got that squared away. That was a bunch of nonsense.
And we use the logo now?
Oh, yeah. It's ours. We trademarked it. That was all nonsense. Scare tactic.
Yep, and it worked. I mean, it was pretty wild. And I guess that leads me to my last question. Can I give a huge shout out to my guy Chris Carpenter for $400 donations? Thank you so much. He's promoted the Shib Toro community. Thank you to my guy Chris Carpenter. We appreciate you. And that leads me to my last question, Russ, regarding Qcoin. You guys paid for Qcoin. Literally, like back, I think it was like 3 months ago, you announced Qcoin. On Qcoin's website was Saitama/USDT pairing. It was getting ready to go. It never went live. What happened with Qcoin?
So actually, I spent 2 I was when I was in LA, like I don't know, around that time, right before then. I had some stuff to do in LA, so I took my family down there. I even took my son to Universal Studios, and while I was there, I was on Zoom calls with these guys like every night, like for an hour, and they were like interrogating me, like I had, I don't know, wanting to get to know the coin, going over the tokenomics, going over, our whitelisting, everything that you need to know for listings and all that, right? They just want to get some information, and everything was good to go. And like, okay, cool, we'll send over the contract. We go look at going live on this day, whatever date that was. And then I had gotten back. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and we'll go live on this day. And like, oh well, you know what? We just had that squid token get rug pulled, so we're not listing anybody. I'm like, we're not squid token. We're Saitama. Like, we're totally different. Like, how do you even compare one to the? It's like comparing. I don't even know the comparison is so far off. So, they're like, oh, we're just gonna not list anybody right now because of that. We're really skeptical about meme tokens. I'm like, we're not a meme token. Like, we're not. We haven't been for quite some time. So, anyways, they kind of gave us the runaround, like most of these centralized exchanges tend to do. They give you the runaround, so it's beneficial for them. And then when it's the most beneficial for them, then they change their mind and like, oh, okay, well, we'll go ahead and list you now. So I promise you, there'll be one of the few that come back and like, oh, okay, well, hey, you know what? That was our mistake. Let's go ahead and list you guys now, and then we'll have that conversation. So there's a lot of centralized exchanges out there that are really looking at us right now. I mean, we do more volume per capita than any other coins per day. And when you're looking at exchanges, that's all they really care about is volume. So even on the low days, we're doing 3, 4, or 5 million. On a good day, we're doing 20. So they want to get that volume. That's how they make money. So so they'll come around. I think once we get the swap function out and everything's good to go, everybody's looking at it. There's a lot of eyes on Saitama right now, and a lot of people. I mean, they're holders. Like people that I talk to every day, these are not nobodies, right? And they're all big Saitama holders.
Wait, the question was about KuCoin, and it went into Squid Token because they rugged. Saitama was put into the same thing, and what Jake said was KuCoin. They paid KuCoin for a listing, so I don't know if that money was given back. I kind of lost what he was saying.
And they're very impressed with what they see. They just want to see the swap and everything else function out. They want to see the ecosystem being built. And then they want to.
Oh, okay, so they do want to see utility.
Talk about it, and then they want to do partnerships, and then they want to, help it grow. So that's what I do all day. I'm talking to people, huge people, A-list celebrities, huge business tycoon owner people, Fortune 500 companies that want to get involved in crypto and don't know how. But because we hold such a high regard in the space, they all want to get me on the phone. And I'm not trying to like brag or be, you know what I mean? Like, but no, it's right. People will wait like 2 weeks just to get 30 minutes on my schedule to talk about crypto and how they can incorporate Saitama into their brand, how they can incorporate crypto into their business, or what kind of joint venture or pillar they can create within our ecosystem.
Absolutely. And I agree. I think a lot of people are waiting for that. We're waiting for the mass to be out. And I think, like, I've been saying this from the beginning, like when it was first laid, like give it, once it gets out and running in 5 years, will we look back? We'll probably laugh about this, right? We'll probably laugh about the swap being delayed and all the DDoS attacks, which are pretty insane, and the front running bots, which I have publicly said the front running bots, I applaud you guys for delaying it for that, because at the end of the day, you're protecting your investors' money. And if I was a dev, I would do the same thing. If 4% of transactions were getting eaten up, 4% of investors, 4% of the people in the stream were losing money due to something that's preventable, I probably would delay it as well. But I think you're right. People are waiting for it as well. Now, Classy, I don't want to put you on the spot. You can take your time with this. But
I got some questions,
yeah, go ahead. And Russ, I'm not sure how long you got, probably 5-10 minutes left.
Guys, I literally have to leave, and Classy has questions. Oh
but
my
give
God.
Classy a chance.
Yeah, we're going there 5 minutes. Actually, we were supposed to do like a round table thing with somebody.
You're supposed to do a round table with somebody. It's a Sandstorm. It's a Sandstorms channel, Russ. With Saitama's reputation of always being late, it will take years for Sator Realty to make one investment, and all of the money will all go to lawyers. Aaron Rod, I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, buddy. I need my bag to grow. His way of hypnotizing you. I feel hypnotized. I feel like I am drinking the Kool-Aid pretty hard. Guys, like the stream. I'm going to try and get one. Oh, I have 5 minutes. I have to go to an offshore meeting.
With Sandstorm guys. So But we'll give him 5 minutes and I'll hop on over there.
Cool. Well, let's let Classy get a couple questions in. And I don't know if you've met Classy. He's a 21-year-old down in Miami. He's a big St. Thomas supporter.
I'll be there in the event.
You've probably seen some of his content, but I want to introduce you guys. And Classy, take some questions to our guy, Russ.
Yeah, of course. So I kind of just took some notes over what you guys talked about for a second. I'd like to touch base on the state of realty. Of course, we're going to get a little bit more details as we get closer to the date. But of course, you're going to be a diverse, set of questions here. We're going to talk about the actual passive income, right? We had a big problem in NFTs where things were getting shut down because Mutant Cats was giving passive income and the SEC started coming after them. Are we going to have a situation where you're going to have to go ahead and dox yourself to invest into State of Realty as you are getting dividends right now? Or is that something that you've already accounted for?
No.
Is he gonna have to dox himself for? Okay. Isn't he already doxed?
No, we haven't. You won't have to dox yourself to invest in State of Realty or to get entitled to the dividend structure. As of right now, unless something changes between...
Oh, dividends like what they give from State of Realty?
I mean, everything's changing, especially in crypto, so you never really know. And as the SEC starts to get more involved into crypto assets and what that looks like, maybe that'll change. But for right now, no. And we have all the compliance and all the stuff that we need to make sure that we're doing things properly. And that's with everything. So even as we integrated our DEX platform, as we integrated, the swapping, and as we integrate our card to crypto payment features, and all the other things that we're integrating onto our ecosystem, everything that we do is always preemptive. And we always put that stuff out after we've done all of our back end research and whatever compliance and regulatory things that we have to do first. So, like I said, we have multiple legal teams, each one of them doing something different. One of them specifically is only for compliance and regulatory issues. So these guys are probably the busiest of all of our attorneys because they're the ones that are constantly doing the compliance for not just for Texas or Arkansas, but all 50 states. And then as we start to incorporate, on a global scale, when we're looking at, our actual fiat card to crypto payment system, and as we look at, like I say, the bank features, these are all things that you have to really be finite about how you go along, because if you do not, then you can put yourself in a whole world of hurt down the road, and they can potentially shut you down. So we always do that first, and then we roll out our plan of action. So, but it's malleable. So we may have to make some adjustments as we go, just because things are changing in the space so frequently. So we're kind of having to adapt. But we're pretty current, and we're pretty aware of what's going on with the regulations involved.
Okay, beautiful.
Wait.
Got a good question. Okay, so another
beautiful. Okay, guys, that's literally it. There's I think like 7 more minutes of Classy. I am at 1 hour and 2 minutes. Please go watch it for yourself if you want to see what Classy said. Got one question in there. Thank you for every single one of you that joined me this morning. I will try and get this time for live streams. I think 6 a.m. is too early. 7 a.m. seemed real good today. I think 1 hour 30 seems like a good spot. Maybe 6:45. I'll figure it out. I'll let you know. Like the stream before you leave. Thanks for watching with me. And it was nice hanging out with the Ganja Goons. And I will leave you with that. Goodbye.